Hello all. Today we are going to see the concept in the subject data structures and algorithms. The topic we are going to see is linked list. Before coming to the linked list, so as we are all aware about the concept called as array, where we can store the data in continuous memory locations. Likewise, here also we have the concept called as linked list, which is the advanced concept of array. So it falls under the category linear data structure. That is, data structure is divided into two types. One is linear and another one is non-linear. Linear data structure means the data will be stored continuously. Non-linear data structure means the data can be stored in any format. So the basic data structure is linked list over here. So here also the data is stored in continuous memory locations. And what will be the difference between array and linked list is array will also store the data in continuous memory locations, but it doesn't have any connection between the data. The advantage over linked list is it will have a connection between the each and every data using the pointers. So why means to easily access the data, to delete the data, and to search the data and to insert the data, you can easily do it in the concept called as linked list. That's why we are moving from array to linked list over here. It has different types of linked list. So the first type of linked list is singly linked list, and the second type is doubly, and the third type is circular linked list. Coming to the singly linked list, so as the name itself, it tells you that it is single concept. That is, so generally the linked list is denoted in the concept called as node over here. Node is nothing but which contains the data and the address. That is called as singly linked list. So generally in array we have only one storage that is called as to store the data alone. But once you come to the linked list, so here we can store the data as well as the address. So that is the main advantage over here. So each and every element is connected so that you can easily access the data. The first node which contains the data is always called as the head node, and the second or the last node which contains the data is called as tail node. So the last node always contains the address as null. The next concept is doubly linked list. So before moving to the doubly linked list, as I am showing here, this is the singly linked list representation of like what we are playing the music playlist, right? So once generally we used to listen to Spotify, right? So the Spotify will play the songs in the order how it is ordered. So that is why the singly linked list plays a major role in the concept called as Spotify. So how it is denoted, it has been shown here. Coming to the doubly linked list, the second concept. So as the name itself it suggests, it is going to have two address fields. That is your doubly linked list. That is, it is going to contain three parts. So the first part is data field, and either sides you will be having the address field. That is, the data will be pointing to the previous node and also the data will be pointing to the next node. So you will have two pointers to connect the data. So that's why it is called as doubly linked list. So it's a bidirectional connection over here. That is your doubly linked list. So if you see the real-time example, you can take it as web browser history. So generally when we browse the data, we move on with the forward page and also we move to the backward page. So that is the main example of your doubly linked list. Coming to the circular linked list, so we all know circle means forming a circle, right? That we all know, right? So here in circular linked list, so what is the difference between the singly and doubly? It just points to the previous node, starting node. That is your circular linked list over here. Actually, the circular linked list consists of two types. One is circular singly and another one is circular doubly. Circular singly means it just points to the head node around. That is, from the tail node it points to the head node. If you have circular doubly, so what it does is in either way it points. That is, from tail to head and from head to tail. In two ways you will have the connection so that you doesn't have any null pointers. Okay, so that is the main concept. Circular linked list. So as we see the example, people sitting around a round table over here. So once you sit around a round table, so each and everybody is having a adjacent neighbor. So there will not be any null condition over here. So that is the main concept of your circle